Hello, my loves. I'm Ellie Frost. Thank you so much for being here, where we are talking about the multi-dimensional approach to rapidly and radically healing and transforming during and after narcissistic abuse. And this video is about why they have to break you, right, before they leave. Now, I teach a multi-dimensional approach, which is the spiritual and energetic element of narcissism, right? Not just their personality, which this is way more than a personality disorder. If you've been with a true narcissist, you'll know what I mean. There's something going on in the spiritual and energetic realm, right? Which I talk about a lot. And we're multi-dimensional beings, right? So why they have to break you? Now, this is disgusting, right? This is what my parents did to me. This is what other narcissists in my life try to do to me. And it's like they literally try and destroy you. A narcissist will try and destroy you at court, right? But like the reason they make it's so awful and horrific is because the whole relationship is a trauma bond, right? It relies on a trauma bond. It's not a relationship. A relationship is equal give and take. A relationship is not this, when say not a healthy relationship. It's a dynamic that involves you being traumatized on repeat for the cycle to repeat, so that you're emotionally, energetically, psychically controlled, and they can siphon and harvest your energy. Look at yesterday's video I made on why the narcissist does what they do, right? So they want to make this so significant in your life that you never get over it. Why? Because they're harvesting energy in the psychic realm. You still think about them. You still wonder whether you should call them or try and reconcile with them. You probably spend hours in therapy and get emotionally charged. And guess what? Energetically, in the psychic realm, they receive that energy directed at them, and they're energy vampires. And all the time, we are letting our energy be eaten and directed towards them. We haven't got enough for ourselves, and they become the most significant thing in my life, in our lives, right? It all becomes about them, even when you think it's not. I mean, how many clients and people have I spoken to? And I've been there. This was me too, by the way. This was my story. Like, I was severely narcissistically abused my whole life, most of my life, until I healed and found, basically downloaded from the divine, some very effective tools that will radically change us on the planet, which is my mission. But even like how many clients and people I've met who have said, they get healthy, or they want the narcissist to see them succeed. If you're listening to tarot readings and things like that, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Sometimes it can really help you through dark times. But one thing is about wanting people, people want their abusers to see them succeed and see them win, and and that's the victory. That's not a victory, because it's still about them. It's still about what they think of you or how badly they're doing in comparison. What we want to do is set ourselves sovereign and free. Sovereign is the antidote. Sovereignty is the antidote. It's my program. It's affordable. It's the antidote to this. It's such a great program. There is so much in this, right, that you would not seen elsewhere. I'll take you through the modules in a minute, but like, we're still making it about them. It's about us in relation to them, not us ourselves thriving in beautiful new ways, right? Which is what I'm passionate about us doing. Because if you are living your life in the context of when you're under their abuse, it's all about them. It's what they're going to do next. It's what they're doing now. It's all about them. When you leave and you're still trauma bonded because they've tried to break you, it's all about how you're healing, or what should you do next? Should you go back in touch? What will they do next? We live in so many fears after this cycle. Like, we fear, what will they do next? What will happen next in our lives, right? So to break this for good is taking our sovereignty back, is living our life in our own frame, our own context, right? Nothing to do with them anymore, right? And to truly break this, you need to deal with it on a multidimensional level. Years of therapy won't do it. It won't be enough, right? I have been there, right? You could see, because consciously understanding what happened to us is part of it. Breaking cognitive dissonance and psychic and energetic ties, and actually restoring parts of ourselves that need healing, that maybe were never whole, right, is my work in the world. Yeah? And until you do that, the wound is still open. The wound is still open. And of course, you're more at risk of predators. It's not a fair universe, really. There are, like I teach all the time, there are plenty of codependent people on the planet in healthy relationships, what I think are healthy, working through their codependency. But some of us are targeted. Could be because of your spiritual gifts, could be because of your energy, could be just because you were easy prey to them. But some of us are heavily targeted. Yeah? and by these predators. And so we have to be able to come home to our wholeness in a whole new way. We have to use this as a catalyst for our spiritual awakening. I teach all the time. I don't believe narcissists are a divine part of our spiritual awakening. They are not a soulmate and they are not a higher being. And some people are teaching that. I mean, this is ridiculous. They are the dark. They are the dark. It's written about in scriptures. I talk all the time about how I channel ancient wisdom. I am not new age in any way, shape or form. This is wisdom we've got in our scriptures that we've known for a lot of time. These are demons. They are exactly like soul detached entities that we've heard about through the beginning of time. We just seem to have forgotten in our modern world, right? This is not a myth. This is what's going on, right? So in order to break free, we've got to know what it is, but just talking about it and knowing about it isn't enough. And if you spent a lot of time like watching videos, it's good to keep your consciousness, keep reminding yourself, keep breaking the cognitive dissonance, but you've got to do the work. And my stuff is so fast, like it's in short segments. It's made for people who were like me, who couldn't meditate for hours or even minutes at a time, who were highly stressed with racing thoughts and PTSD and CPTSD, right? So it's in short segments that you can put into your life on repeat, right? It gives you tools. The modules are, there's an introduction where there's just things to connect you to your soul, break ties. I do this very uniquely. It's all channeled, it's potent. The first module is about coming home to ourselves and being, having our own back. I teach that, self-partnering, self-sourcing as being a source to self. There's a lot on heart healing, and so that we can accelerate grief processes so you actually process the emotions. There are tools to help you safely process, which is the key, right? Because trauma is just stored in the body and keeps you vibrating at the level of trauma. And guess what? Sadly, in this universe, right, it's not what you think you attract under the law of attraction. It's what you vibrate at. And if you're vibrating at trauma, you're going to be a match to more trauma, right? So we have to heal the trauma. And you can't solve a feeling, the trauma and energy with a thinking. You can't outthink trauma. My stuff works. Then we go on to how do you set strong standards and live by your values. And then we go on to manifestation. If you're keen on manifestation, I've got another YouTube channel. You can read about that in the comments. And I've got a membership, right? So Sovereign is 555. Live Fully Now is a manifestation membership, 55 a month for that one, right? But I would do Sovereign first as a foundation, because you can't build beautiful manifestations on foundations where you might manifest. It's what happened to me so much in my life, right? I'd manifest some of what I wanted, but I'd also keep manifesting the trauma. I couldn't work it out, right? Why? I didn't know how to heal trauma until I did. And now I've got a method that is just game changing, right? So if you're thinking about joining Sovereign, I've now made a payment plan available. You can request that. There's no reason why not. It is going to change your life. If you're watching all these videos, I want you to just go off and live your best life. I want you to come back to me and say, Ellie, I want to do the course on living out my purpose. I want to do the course on money. I want to now build wealth and happiness and abundance, right? Not just learn about narcissists, because there's a limit to how much that's useful to us, and then it becomes about us. This is about being sovereign and us, right? There's also a free draw, right? So if you share one of my videos, your favorite one, or anyone, email me that you shared, you will, January 1st, I'm going to draw a winner, and you will either win a private 90-minute with me or the Sovereign program. It's your choice. Both are valued at 555, right? So it's a beautiful thing to do. I love you. Please keep liking, commenting, sharing, showing up here. You are loved. You are welcome here. You are here to transform, and that's my job, to help facilitate that. I love you, and I'll speak to you soon.